You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's on
It's a
Shmiras.
shalshelas.
No. It's the name of this thing.
Oh, I didn't know why you
Every day they send out another like 2-minute, 3-minute max video. Typical.
The fish.
Yeah, but on Shmiras Einayim, the way they had the Chafetz Chaim Shmiras Rosh and Shmiras, and the stories are like they're very good.
Very nice.
And especially if you only have to listen 2 minutes.
Bye. Yeah.
Professor, my graduate. It's a like 2-minute a day. I don't know what to call it. Video, but you can listen. And it's on Shmiras Einayim.
Oh, really?
To control yourself. Yeah. So today's one was, I don't know if it's today or another day, this kid comes in front of me and he says, he's like distraught because he went on the bus.
Yeah.
And on the bus, all the things he saw, like it was so hard to show the Rebbe steps. And he says, well, the whole bus ride, ride this bus. There were times the bus ride I controlled myself. He says, every one of those times you controlled yourself, that was worth it. He lifts him up and he takes him to a good feeling.
What is this you're watching?
Yes.
It's called Vayimayin.
Send us the link.
Vayimayin is the word that when Yosef doesn't, it means he refrained. Vayimayin.
And that's
it has like a shalshelas,
That's what he said. In that story, he said, this goes back to Yosef.
Yeah. We're up to Pei Amud Beis right here. And we're going to start right there. Omar, I think. You want to text just tell them that we're on.
You want to put it in the chat?
Or directly. You can put it on the chat. Okay, let's start. Avali Shachas. We're on the bottom of Pei Amud Beis. 80. Yes. 80B. 80 B. Avali Shachas. But one woman is allowed to be secluded with 2 men. So Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rav. Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Rav, Leishano B'Ksherim. When do we say that 2 men, they won't do anything that's inappropriate because they're ashamed from each other? That would only be if they're ksherim. That's only if they're appropriate type people, not misbehaviors, not troublemakers. But if they're promiscuous type people, then then if there's 10 people, they won't be ashamed of each other. That's how they behave in front of each other. So it won't be acceptable to have 1 woman, even with 10 men. They won't protect. They won't be.
It's a gang rape.
Yeah. There was even a story. Someone's coming on. There was even a story. What is that? Oh wow. Oh, very nice. Okay, so there was even a story that there were 10 people that they took a woman out as if she was on her deathbed, but she wasn't dead. She was really just a married woman. They carried her out and they sinned with her. So that was 10 people, and so you see that 10 people doesn't mean that they're protected. Why is that? Because they were prutzim, they weren't kosher people. Amar Rabbi Yosef says, I'll prove it to you. Teda, take a look at this. If there's a beam that people are stealing, it's hard to lift this beam. It takes 10 people to lift the beam. And how do they do this? Because you have 10 people together that lift the beam. You see, they're not ashamed from each other, even though they know they're sinning. If they're not ashamed from each other, they probably do other sin with the woman. Name of Messiah, we can prove this statement from Rabbi Yehuda in the name of Rav, right? He said that was the most common statement in Shas. Rabbi Yehuda Rav, most common. So we can prove this. It goes like this. When a saita, a woman that was suspected that she committed adultery, when they're going to the Beis Hamikdash for it to drink, it says they travel to the Beis Hamikdash together with Shnei Talmidei Chachamim, together with two sages. Maybe because what they're going to do is they're going to erase the water, erase the name of Hashem in the water, and that's not going to work if he lived with her after she was already secluded with someone else, right? Waters won't work, so it will mean that you're erasing Hashem's name in vain. So what they do is they send two Talmidei Chachamim to make sure that the husband doesn't live with the wife that right now at this point she's prohibited because we didn't clarify what took place. She didn't drink from the waters yet. So there's two sages that go with Talmidei Chachamim and Shidal Malai. So you have to send with two people that are sages, but not people that are preaching, not people that are promiscuous, because that's not going to work. The Gemara says, in Shidal Malai, the Gemara says, Shani Talmidei Chachamim diadi lasribe. No, it's not a proof that other people would be yichud. It's not proving that other people would be the prohibited seclusion. That's not here. Why is Talmidei Chachamim? Because they have to be able to warn him, to tell him that he can't live with her. In other words, they need other information that the Talmidei Chachamim have. It's not showing that otherwise it would be promiscuous. It would be yichud. Rabbi Yehuda says the name of Rav. You see how common it is. We had it again. When do we say that a one woman could be together with two men? That's only if they're in the city. But if they're on the road traveling together, then you need three people. Maybe one of them is going to need to urinate, and if that's going to be the case, then it's going to be one person together with the woman. If there's only two people, one of them leaves, that means there's one man with the woman. So therefore, you should have three people. That means if one has to go, there's still two people left, and it won't be yichud. Rashi doesn't say Shem Yitztar Chacham and Lahashtim. Rashi says maybe one of them is going to need to for number two for move his bowels. And what's the difference by why? I'm not sure why Rashi has a different version than us. I mean, well, it sounds like a difference in halacha. Maybe the time of yichud is
which Rashi?
Rashi on the second line, Shem Yitztarech Echad Lenakavav, is not in our Gemara. Our Gemara says Shem Yitztarech Echad Mehem Lahashtem. Do you see that? Rashi up here. Rashi has a different version. It's a different version than our Gemara.
They had a discussion of how long was it.
Right, we had a discussion on how long. So I'm not sure if Rashi is referring to that there's a difference in how long yichud would be, or maybe Rashi is saying how far a person needs to walk when there's people there to urinate versus that could also be a difference. Anyway, okay. Would come out either, whatever the case is, one of them has to excuse himself, the other one that would be left would be secluded with a woman that they shouldn't be. Name a Messiah. Let's try to bring another proof. They give there's two sages that travel together with the Saita, exactly the same story, on the way to the temple. Why two? Because Trey v'iyu hatlasa. Because there's two together with the husband makes three. And the husband's not allowed to live with her. And the two sages together with the husband wouldn't be yichud. The Gemara says, no, they send two sages because they want them to be witnesses. Here we're looking not at the sages aspect, we're looking at the two aspect. Why is it two? Because we need two witnesses. Sadi means witnesses. Rav Yehuda, because the Borcha, Rav and Rav Yehuda. Okay, now we have not only that they're the most common, now we have the story with them. Rav and Rav Yehuda, because the Borcha. Rav Yehuda is the student, Rav is the teacher. They're walking on the road. Avikazlo, it's a kamayo. There's a woman that's along with them, that's going along. Amalei, and kamayo sounds like in front of them. Amalei Rav Yehuda, dal karach mikam Gehenim. He says, lift up your feet from in front of Gehenim. In other words, let's walk away from her, because we shouldn't go to Gehenim.
They're walking behind her.
It doesn't really say that the issue is behind or in front, as you see in a moment. But that's what it looks like. It looks like they're walking behind. Amalei. So Rabbi Yehuda says to Rav, but you said that there's no problem if there's two people that are kosher. There's no problem with yichud. There's a problem with this Gemara because it says that they're be'orcha, they're on the road. Rav said you need three people, not two people. I don't have any comment on that in my Gemara, but it's probably something. Anyway.
Maybe they were in the city.
Yeah, but it says be'orcha. Or maybe in the city, a street in the city. That could be. That's a good answer. Amarlei, so Rav responds, Mi yemar de b'ksherim k'gein anovat. How do you know that when it says ksherim, kosher people, it means someone like me and you? Maybe it's Ela k'gein mai. Who do you think is more kosher than us? That's what he's referring to. K'gein Rav Chanina bar Papi b'chaverav. It was like Rav Chanina bar Papi and his friends, which are Rav Tzadok and Rav Kana, which we had in the Gemara on Daf Mem, where there was this person that was this woman wanted to sin with him, and he davened to Hashem, and he got all these boils over his body. She did a magic trick, and the boils went away. Remember that story? And then he ended up in a fire, in an oven or something, and he was saved. And they said it's because you didn't sin, and that's why. I don't remember all the story, but whatever. He was a very kosher person, and Rav is saying that maybe it's not referring to us. Okay. Amar Rav. Rav says, Malkin ala yichad v'naisin ala yichad. Rav is concerned now that if we're going to give lashes, if a woman is secluded with a man, we're going to give lashes. What's going to happen is people are going to say that the children of this woman may be not her children. Because look, everyone found out that she was together with someone else. It's going to be, it's going to create problems for the family. Not just there's a married woman and she's together with another man. We don't know if they did anything, just the door closed. So we take them and we give them lashes. Now this woman has children. People are going to start to say, I heard she got lashes from this and that. Maybe the children aren't really hers.
You mean his, her husband. Her children aren't her children. She gave birth to.
Maybe they're not really the husbands, right?
Yeah,
they're not really the husbands. So,
isn't this case of where they're
on
the shoulders or being shut?
They're not really the husband's children. Okay, which could create a problem. So Rav says that we do give malchus, but we don't say that the woman is prohibited to her husband. We do like halfway here, right? We say that they do get lashes, but the women can still be together with their husband. Amar Ravashi says, Lai Amran, this Ravashi is 5 generations later. He says that Rav said that you give malchus, that would only apply if the woman wasn't married. But if the woman was married, then that creates a problem because it's going to cast dispersions on her children that maybe they don't come from the husband, they come from this other guy, if we would give lashes. So Ravashi clarifies that Rav didn't really mean on a married woman that they would give lashes. Marzucha Malki and Machers. Marzucha wasn't so concerned about that. He would give lashes if there was a woman that was secluded with another man. And he would announce that he's only giving the lashes, not because anything happened, just because of the seclusion. Machers means he would announce that. Amalei Rav Nachman mi Parhatia le Ravashi. Rav Nachman Parhatia says to Ravashi, Mar Nami Lilkia Machers. How come you don't? Ravashi said you don't give lashes at all to a married woman. It's only to a woman that was a single girl they would give lashes. How come you don't give lashes? Just make an announcement. Amalei Kadeshmiya Bavle Shmiya Baha. Ravashi has this concern that maybe when you put something in the headlines and then you clarify what it means on the back page of the newspaper, that people don't really get that message. The headlines they hear and the back page no one sees. So he's concerned that maybe everyone's going to hear that she got lashes. What were the lashes for? That it was only because of seclusion. It wasn't because he did anything. That is going to be like the back page of the newspaper. No one's going to see that in the small print, right? Amar Rav Rav says, Malkin aloitei v'shmua. If someone is misbehaving, you can give lashes as well. That doesn't mean that there was anything specific, but it was just misbehavior. You can give lashes for that. Shenemar, it says in the pasuk, Al banai, no, my son and my children. This is Eli telling his Eli Akain is telling his sons they were misbehaving with the women that would come to bring their sacrifices. Either they were having them stay overnight, or they were living with them. He says it's not good, the rumors that I hear, and that's Rav is considering this a negative prohibition. Marzutra Maisiv la Apsera al Kaspe. Marzutra would put a afsira, or afsira. How do they translate that? Halter. What is a halter? Is that a part of the muzzle or something?
Yes.
Okay, on the shoulder. Umakri lay, and then he would say al banai, and he would announce why he's doing this. I guess this is how he would hit them, and he would.
Women used to wear hats. They used to wear halter tops, which was nothing but like a stretch thing that they put on, and it just went around there. It's like almost like a brassiere. So, but then that's where the halter is. Halter top.
I think the halter is what goes over the face of the animal, and it's like it's like the muzzle thing.
Oh, the stuff that comes from the top. This is the one on the mouth is the muzzle, and the one that comes down is the halter top.
So, and he would announce why he's giving them the lashes, or why he's doing this. Al banai. I'm a rabba. Rabba says, Baila be'ir. This is an interesting heter. If there's a woman in the house, and there's a worker that's coming to fix something, so is that the problem? If she goes into the house when the husband, if he goes into the house when the woman's home, and the husband is in the city, but he's coming in, this worker's coming in. The Rabbi says, it's not a problem of yichud. Now, Rashi says that you don't get malchus for that if the husband's in the city. Taisvis says, sounds like there's a prohibition from Rashi. Sounds like there's a prohibition. You just don't get malchus. You don't get lashes. But Taisvis himself wants to say that there's really no prohibition if the husband's in the city. No, it doesn't work the other way. If the husband's home and there's a woman in the house, a cleaning person or whatever in the house, the wife is out of the house, that does not protect the husband. The husband out of the house and the wife in the house protects the wife. If the husband's out of the house, the wife is in the house with a worker that happens to be an electrician or whatever, she's protected because of the baila be'ir, because the husband is driving around the city and she doesn't know when he's going to show up. So that's considered not yichud. The opposite, if the husband's in the house and there's a cleaning lady in the house and the wife is driving around, that does not protect the husband.
What would protect us?
Not to be in the house.
If his wife goes out shopping,
You'd have to leave. Then you would have to leave the door
His
open.
white phones are gone.
yeah, it was scary.
Yeah.
So, Amar Rav Yosef Pesach Besuach L'Rishus Rabbim. I'm sorry.
Today that we have cameras, that would make a
The
difference.
cameras make a difference, possibly, but in yeshiva we have cameras, all over the hallways and everything, and the people do the dumbest things. Apparently, it doesn't really, say who put that graffiti on the wall. I was like, I'm telling you, it wasn't me. It's like, so what is this? This video. It's you, right?
No,
oh yeah, it could have been me.
that looks like me, but that wasn't me.
I always watch my garage just in case they go into the garage. And then you go, so that's the place. So I'm just saying now you can.
I know, but it doesn't really stop the guy from doing it. They don't really.
You might not stop him, but hey, if I see it,
I know, but that's catching after the fact. And yichud, the way of resolving yichud is that it doesn't happen, not that we'll find out who it was.
Having the door unlocked is enough. Or does it have to
Well,
be
that's
open?
what we're learning now. We're learning now that Amar Rav Yosef Pesach Pesach L'Shusram Ein Cheshim Shem Yichad. There's a machlekes in the Pesachim. Daf Yomi is not halacha here, but there's a machlekes if Pesach Pesuach means that the door is opened or the door is unlocked. There's two translations of that.
The doctor's office is.
You leave it
Practice. They said,
slightly
well,
opened, right?
That's what I did, and then the patient always closed it because they wanted privacy, but it was never. So I asked the question: as long as it was
As long as that's the more lenient opinion.
They could always run out or yell or anything.
Right.
There's other people.
Right. Machmirim would hold that the door needs to be open, and in other situations it's just unlocked to a public area.
Sorry, when I first built my private practice, so they make the rooms and everything, and then they put a buzzer lock by the front, so it's a lock. So I go to him, I say to the nurse, I don't understand. What are we putting a lock on the door? I need business. I need them to come. And she goes, no. That's not to stop them from coming. It's to stop them from going out before they pay.
As they say, the psychologist, someone came in and he said, he did this, whatever, what do they call it? The interview. He said that he's suicidal. So he says, from now on, I want you to pay before the.
Boy, you got 6 months to live, and then the guy goes, oh, but I'm never being able to pay this. Oh, in that case, you got 12 months.
Okay. Rav Bibi Ikla Lebei Rav Yosef. Rav Bibi goes to the house of Rav Yosef. Basad the Karach Rifta, after they made bread, they ate the bread. Amaluhu, so he says to them, this is Rav Yosef telling to, I guess, the people of his house, Shekuli Dargamitusi Bibi, take the ladder away from Bibi. And apparently they would eat upstairs and they would sleep downstairs, I guess. So after the meal, it was the opposite by us. We usually, dining room is downstairs and we sleep upstairs if they have two floors. But there they would eat upstairs and they would sleep downstairs. So he, that's what it seems like. So he says, take the ladder away, because I guess Rabbi Yosef was going out and his wife was going to be home. He wanted Rabbi Bibi to stay upstairs in the attic and not be able to get down. And the problem is, but Rabbi Yosef is in town. There's no problem if even with the wife is home with this man, because Rabbi Yosef is around town. Shani Rabibi the Shush Vinse Havi Begaisabe. Apparently Rabibi was close with Rabbi Yosef's wife. They must have had some earlier friendship of some sort. Maybe they dated. It doesn't tell us what happened. A failed shidduch. And that was more of a concern. And he's saying that Baila Be'ir wouldn't help. The husband in the city wouldn't help. Amar of Kana. Anashim b'chutz v'nashim b'fnim. This is an interesting scenario here. You have women in an inside room and the men are in an outer room. That means in order to get out, you have to walk through the man. The men really have no reason to go in more, because that's where the women are. But the women would end up walking through the men. So that's not a problem, because what's going to happen? Because the women walk out, there's more than one man there. There's more than one man. So more than one man is not a problem. And no men are going to go in. That would be a problem, because if the men are in the inside and the women are on the outside, so then when the one man goes with two women, that's a problem. There's two women on his way out. There's going to be yichud. The Brisa teaches this exactly the opposite. And according to the Brisa, we have a concern that maybe one man is going to sneak in to the inner room. No one's going to notice, and there's going to be yichud. But if the women are on the outside, so even if a man goes through the outside, but other men are going to be coming through, so it wouldn't be a problem. Exactly the opposite story. Well, Amar Abaya, Hashdam Rav Kana Hachi, Betana Masni Sebcha. Now that Rav Kana said one thing and the Brisa said another thing, so I know now with the Chumrah I'm going to be more strict. Abaya Daya Gulfi, Rabba Daya Kana Abaya would put pottery by the shear in between, as a mechitza. He would put a pottery. If someone tried to sneak over the mechitza, the pottery would.
Just like when they put the plants.
Right. But this would make a sound. Someone said that they didn't like the guests would go into their bathroom and open the medicine cabinet in the bathroom. So they put marbles in there. And when someone would open, marbles would come tumbling out and you can never get them back in.
You know what? You say it as a joke, but that's what this guy who just died, Matthew Perry, is his name, the actor from France. Big thing, yeah, whole lot.
I don't know.
Anyway, they said from the early interview that he had lifelong problem with addiction to alcohol. He used to go to open houses, and while people were all going around, he'd go in the bathroom, open up the medicine cabinet to see what drugs he could steal.
Wow.
So it's truth to that.
Anyway, he would set up, Abai would set up pottery, Rab would set up kana, who reads, and yeah, they would make noise, or if someone would try to cross over. Amar oven. Must be Rav oven. Maybe it's Abaya. Sakfa deshata rigla. The wound of the year. It's the difficult time of the year is the holidays. What's the reason? Because there was a lot of mingling. Yeah, that's what it says.
That's nice. That's
Hanach Shvuyaisa, the Asil in Ardai, there were these captives that came to Ardai, Askinu Lebei Rabam Chasida. They brought to Rabam Chasida house. These are captive women that I guess they're being freed, and there's like halfway house or whatever, they're on their way out. So Ashkulu Darga Mikamayu, they took the ladder away, so they're in the attic, and so no one could go up to them. When one of them was walking over, like I guess like a skylight, Nafal Nahira Bipume, Pume on the face. No, a light came. Does it say a light came on the face? So the light came through the window. It's not a window. It's a skylight, right?
Wait, here it says English. Her face was so radiant.
That must be. Nothing the higher bipume means.
So to speak, the house.
Okay, bipume would mean the face. Shakta Rav Amram runs. This woman was so beautiful. Rav Amram ran to get a ladder that 10 people couldn't lift the ladder like that. And Dalia Lechadeh, he lifted it on his own. Salak Vazli starts to run up the ladder. Just go up the ladder. When he gets halfway up the ladder, Ifshach, he stops, he pauses. Ramakali gives a shout. Noira Bey Amram, there's a fire in the house of Amram. Asur Rabbanan, comes Samalay Kasaftinan, you embarrassed us, because he shouted, he wanted everyone to come so that he shouldn't sin. He wanted everyone to, was like, hold me back, right? But he didn't say hold me back, he said there's a fire. So everyone comes running, and they came, they see that he's halfway up the ladder. And that they said that you're embarrassing us. He says, it's better to be embarrassed in this world than in the next world. He made the Satan or the Tzahara swear to go away from him. Went away like a pillar of light. See, you're fire and I'm flesh, and I'm even stronger than you. I was able to control myself. Reb Meir had misleitzes by Ve'avera. Reb Meir would laugh at people that sin. He would say, like, you should have been able to control yourself. So one time the Satan says, oh yeah, you're laughing? Let's show you. So the Satan makes himself like a woman. On one side of the river. There was no bridge. He takes a rope and he walks along a plank like a string, like you would have to hold on top and walk along a string to get across. When he came halfway across, the Satan let him go. If not for the announcement that they made in heaven that be careful with Reb Meir and his Torah, I would have turned your blood into 2 coins, which basically means worthless. I would have made your life worthless. Rabbi Kiva also laughed at the one time the Satan wants to prove him that he shouldn't be laughing at them. He makes himself like a woman that's up a palm tree. Nakti dikla v'kasalik v'asel. He grabs the tree and he starts to climb up. Matla palga the dikla shavke. And it makes it halfway up. The Satan leaves him go. I guess it says that he's not really a woman; he's a Satan.
It's a lady boy from Thailand.
I think that similar thing happened with Rabbi Akiva, that Satan said that if it wasn't for his name being mentioned every day.
Omar, he says he loved the Machruzi Barakia, Zarbar Akiva, if not for the announcement that they made in heaven that be careful with Rabbi Akiva. Where did he say it said this? Oh, you had this from before. Yeah.
These are the things that are recorded.
Then I would have turned your blood into 2 coins. Plima would say, let's leave the Plima over here. I have to run to my.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay.
Are you going home? I'm going to give your father a lift home.
Okay.